See, there's three kinds of attention. There's no attention, negative attention, and positive attention. And young people today are digital natives. They have been, on average, Gen Z has had a computer in their hands since they were 10 years old. And answering why, young people today have to understand what the big picture is. How can they use this? Where can they go? What can they do? How can they, create a competitive advantage in their life? Why would anyone do this? I ask teachers this all the time, either academic teachers, career and technical education teachers. Like, why would anyone do your program, pathway, or class? Like, why would they do it? What is the intrinsic value in that journey to the light at the end of their tunnel in being able to move forward? And I also give teachers and even employers too, recognize that young people today want shortcuts. They're looking for shortcuts. They're looking for hacks, cheat codes, shortcuts. So don't be afraid to create some. Create a couple of shortcuts that work for you, but allow them to then, work harder to get the shortcut done, because they'll actually start moving down the tunnel at that particular point. And so being able to put all of these things together, this is how we connect, engage, and answer why. This is where the active purpose is created, where we shift from static purpose to active purpose and recognize that we have to connect and kind of fire on all cylinders, if you will, in order to be able to move the young people in our sphere of influence forward. And so education with purpose to me goes another way as well. Is that, one of the crowning achievements in my life is I was invited to speak at Harvard University, and it was a crowning achievement in my life to be invited to speak at Harvard. And the reason it was a crowning achievement, by the way, is that in high school, I didn't have a prayer getting to Harvard. In fact, full disclosure, my friends, in high school, I was in the half of the class that made the top half possible. I mean, literally. And if you're smiling or giggling or laughing, it's because you did the math on that pretty quickly. Yeah, I was in the bottom half of my class, but I was invited to speak to governors and lieutenant governors and K-12 statewide superintendents and chancellors of community college systems and Fortune 100 top executives. And in my speech that day, I talked about the notion that we have in this country that we're making kids college and career ready. Maybe you've heard it. It came down from the federal government many years ago, and it's really taken hold in our culture of education in this country. In fact, it's taken such a hold that there are actually organizations in this country, educational ones, that it's their tagline, like, ABC School District, making kids college and career ready. And so what I spoke about that day is how much I love the phrase, because on its surface, by its merits, I think it's an extraordinary phrase, because of course it sounds like something we should do. It sounds like low-hanging fruit. In fact, it sounds noble. Of course we should be making kids college and career ready. It's exactly what we should be doing. I said, except there's one problem with the phrase. Almost no one in America reads the word "and" in between the word college and the word career. Most people read it like it's a pathway, like we should be making kids college, then career ready. And so that's what the perception is in the world today. And so what I spoke about that day to a standing ovation was that I don't think we should be making kids college and career ready in this country. I think we need to be making kids career ready, period. Sure, all kinds of wonderful careers and occupations go through 4-year university degrees and baccalaureates and masters and PhDs and MDs and JDs. All of those things are viable today. In fact, I'm a tremendous fan of a 4-year degree. If what you want to do in life requires a 4-year degree, I think you need to invest wisely, go with passion, go with purpose, but make sure you get it done. Unfortunately, in America today, that's not what's happening with a lot of young people today, as they become, disengaged with their higher education because they may not have been sure why they were going in the first place. And so there's a lot of reasons for that. But see, there's also wonderful careers and occupations through 2-year associate's degree at community and technical colleges. There's also wonderful careers and occupations through certifications and advanced certifications and licensures and apprenticeships in the military. Why did we take one of these many ways to be successful in America and put it into the phrase? Because by putting it into the phrase, we've said that one's more important than any of the others. And so what we have to recognize in this journey for young people today is we must celebrate all of the different ways that young people today can be successful. It cannot simply be one. They all have to be at the table. 4-year, 2-year certifications, licensures, apprenticeships, the military, and so on. That they're all completely viable for young people today, and we have to help them to see all of the things that are possible. According to College Debt in America, this was reported by every major news outlet in the country, currently stands today at $1.6 trillion. That is the second largest kind of debt in America. It's larger than credit card debt, not yet larger than mortgage debt. But that's not the horrific stat. The horrific stat Is that just over 11% of it, or $176 billion is more than 90 days in default, and you cannot go bankrupt on student loan debt? You carry it with you for the rest of your life.